In this section, we'll explore variable declarations and assignments in Go. But first, create your main.go file and inside add package main and the function main. The function main is going to be run every time or executed every time your program runs. And inside this function, let's declare a few variables. The first one is student and it's a Boolean type. The second one is age, it's an int 8 type. Third one is name, it's a string type, and the last one is salary. And notice we have the var keyword before each variable, and we haven't assigned any values to this variable. So when you declare a variable with the var keyword, automatically Go assigns the 0 value of its type to the variable. So you can see here we assigned false to a student, 0 to age, and an empty string to the name variable, because name is a string and 0 value of string is the empty string. And for salary, the type was float 64 and the value or the 0 value of floats is 0. Now let's go ahead and print the value of each variable on the terminal. For that, you can use print line method of format. So make sure that you are importing format into your main function, and into format you can pass a string representing the variable and the variable itself. So here we have the string is student and the variable is student, and you do the same for the other variables for age, name, and salary. And after you open your terminal and enter the command go run main.go to run your program, and here you can see the printouts. So a student has a value false, age has a value 0, name has an empty string as a value, and salary is 0. Right, so these are the 0 values of each variable. Now we can go and assign values to each of these variables while they are declared with a var keyword. Okay, so let's remove the comments, and to a student let's assign the value true, and to age let's assign the value 32. Okay, it's an integer. And to name let's assign the string John, and to salary assign a floating point number. Open your terminal and enter the command go run main.go, and here you can see the value of each variable. Right, so we assigned a value to each variable while it was declared with a var keyword. But this is not really the ideal way to do variable declaration and assignment at the same time. There is a shorthand variable declaration syntax, and this syntax allows you to do two things at the same time on the same line. You declare the variable and as well as a value to this variable. So here we are using the syntax, the colon and assignment operator together, and we are redeclaring each variable and we are assigning values to each. Okay, so this is a much better and a neat way of doing both variable declaration and assignment. And now you can save this and go back to the terminal and get the same values printed on your terminal. Now if I decide to print the student variable and remove the other print line statements while age, name, and salary are still there, are still declared, Go will give me an error because it wants to make sure that your variables are used. Okay, and if you still want to keep those assignments but remove the declarations, you can replace the name of the variable, each variable, with an underscore character. But you also need to make sure that you are removing the colon from the shorthand variable declaration syntax, otherwise you'll get this error. Okay, no new variables on the left side. So make sure that only the assignment operator is remaining with those underscore characters. Now your variables are effectively ignored, and only the student variable is present and can be printed. Right? Okay, so if you declare a variable, you have to make sure that you are using it somewhere, otherwise Go will give you an error. Now let us look at Golang's format verbs. Format verbs are useful because they act as placeholders inside strings or format strings. You have a method called printf inside the format package, and $v and $t represent value and type. The v acts as a placeholder for value and the t acts as a placeholder for type. For example, if I want to print a string that will have the value of isStudent, I can enter the string the value of isStudent is $v, and as a second argument to printf I can pass the isStudent variable, and on the second line I can print the type. So the type of isStudent is $t, and as second argument to printf I can pass isStudent. Now the type of isStudent will map to t and the value of isStudent will map to v. Okay, so I also need to add new line characters so I can see each string on a new line. So you can see on the terminal the value of isStudent is true and the type of isStudent is bool, right? It's a boolean type. Now you can do the same for the others. For example, for age, you can find its value and its type. Go ahead and replace the underscore character with the name of the variable age, and make sure that you are using the shorthand variable declaration syntax. So add colon before the assignment operator and replace isStudent with the underscore character. Now replace isStudent inside the strings with age, and now you can go ahead and run your program and see the value of age as 32 and its type as int on the terminal. It also provides you with a package called reflect, and you can use reflect to find the type of variable. Import reflect together with format. Okay, on line 3 add parentheses, and inside the parentheses add reflect, and this will make all the methods and attributes of reflect available inside our main.go file. Now we got rid of everything but also comment out all the variables except the student, and now we are going to call the type of method on reflect and assign the returned value to the variable t. Now if you go into type of, or if you explore the type of method, you can see that it takes an interface which is any type of data and returns a type representing the type of the parameter. And now if you pass isStudent into type of and print the returned value which is stored inside the t variable and run the program, you will find the value bool printed on the console. And now if I do run the program, I get the value bool. So isStudent is of the type bool. Again, if you pass age into type of, you should get int, and if you pass name into type of, you should get string because name is holding the value John, right? And finally, if you pass salary, you should get float 64. Now save this and run and get float 64.